Hey y'all, it's your girl Bree and welcome back. Oh my god, let me stop with this TikTok shit. Hey y'all, it's your girl Bree and welcome back to another YouTube video. What's poppin', what's good? Today we have a makeup look, very minimalistic. It doesn't take long. The only reason why this video is probably gonna be long is because I'm talking to y'all. I like to have a conversation. So here we are. This is just my little beat. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Bro, are we okay in the neighborhood today? Like, let me know what y'all want to see. I do beauty and I do vlogs. If you want to see how I did this look, then just keep on watching. And thank you for being here. I like to start with brows. I have two brow products that I absolutely love. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Gel. Then I also have the Busy Gal Brows by Tarte. This one is waterproof. This one I don't think is waterproof, but it lasts a long time. Depending on what look you want to go for, this one is definitely going to give you more of a bolder brow, fuller. I'm not going for that today. I'm trying to be as minimalistic as possible. This is what the wand looks like, very small. What I like to do is I like to go on the end, the tail end, usually at the top of the spoolie brush. It has the product, and you want to try to kind of sculpt the brow, and then whatever is left, spoolie it through, brush it through. The reason why I like this brush is because it's so small. I don't know, it just works for me. I'm able to get that the tail end of my brow, and then the rest of the product I brush through, so it's more of that natural looking brow. And I have this shade Black Brown, my favorite go-to for when I'm just in a rush. That is just so easy to like be more precise with it. As long as you get it to a place where you want, it doesn't matter. It don't matter, boo. Period.
Nothing else to say, like, period.
Get our primer. I have a couple of different primers. I like the e.l.f. Putty Primer, Putty Poreless Primer. This one's super good. I think this is like $8. Then I have my Too Faced Hangover Primer. This one was limited edition. These are for wet, like my more drier days. Smashbox Oil Control Primer. That one's really good. I'm not really sure which primer I should go with today. I think my face is kind of dry. I feel like they could use some more moisture. We're gonna use the Too Faced Hangover Primer. I love this primer because it doesn't feel like a primer. It feels like a lotion. If anyone is allergic to coconut water or coconut anything, 0 out of 10 do not recommend it, because you might break out from it, and we don't want that, girl. You might have an allergic reaction. Do something that is good for your skin type. Today my skin is dry. It's been dry for a while. I only get oily on my nose. Now I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna find a powder. I have two powders that I really love. There is the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and then there is the Dermablend Loose Setting powder. There also is another powder that I really like. It's by Urban Decay. It's a waterproof powder. I really like that. No flashback. No, it doesn't give me a white cast. I learned this from Auntie Jackie. This powder is good for transfer resistance. Especially since we're wearing masks and stuff. Like, you don't want it all on your mask and waste your makeup and stuff like that. So what I'll usually do is I'll set my primer. Trust me, it is very worth it. I noticed that when I set my primer, everything kind of just stays on longer. It's long lasting. And this powder already is supposed to be good for like transfer resistance for up to 16 hours. And I never thought to set my primer until Jackie Anna had said something. And then when I did it myself, I understood why she did that. So next, I'm gonna go in with the stick foundation. If you want long lasting foundation and something that's very quick, easy, simple, get a stick foundation. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills stick foundation. This is in the shade Walnut. And what I love about stick foundations is that you have the versatility to either swipe your brush on there and then pat it in, or swipe it on your face. Me personally, I like to swipe my foundation brush on there. This is the Pure foundation brush. I also like the Morphe M439 foundation brush. I don't support Morphe, but I have it. And if you don't really care about what happened, you know, and them supporting certain people that they shouldn't support.
Hi, how are ya?
I do like this brush. So something like this, like a flat brush or a dense brush, I 10 out of 10 would recommend. I also do like the It Cosmetics Flawless Foundation brush, I think this is. Yeah, the Airbrush Blurring Foundation number 101. Something just dense. It has to be dense, otherwise it's just not gonna do well. So what I like to do personally, put my brush like this, just swipe it, and then I'll pat in the foundation. This foundation is also long wearing, super nice, medium to full coverage. I really do like that. Or, which is, I just feel like that's just so much product, just to me. But you can swipe it just to save time. Doing that, I don't know, it's just different to me. Don't swipe like this. Me personally, I don't like swiping like this, but I like to pat it in. And this is the perfect brush to do that because it's a flat head. Again, we're not doing too much. I'm not looking for that full coverage, and I'm pretty sure you guys aren't either, otherwise you wouldn't be watching. Done with the foundation. Now I go into concealer. There's two concealers that I'm absolutely in love with. The Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. This is in the shade Mahogany. Really nice full coverage. For someone who has more of like a drier skin type, I highly recommend the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer. This concealer, very full coverage. It's giving me skin. It's giving me life, period. I'm gonna use the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here. And a lot of people like to put a whole triangle. I don't know why people still do that. And then I kind of like to go under, like a nice little line, because that's where the darkness is. And then that's it. And then lightly, because it has that nice tip.
That's what she said.
To get right underneath the lash line, the bottom lash line, just like that. Don't need to do anything excessive. That's for the little highlight. That looks like a weed.
Stay off the weed!
And then I let it sit for a little bit. I let it dry. This concealer though, sometimes you do have to work fast. Normally you do have to work fast, because this concealer be ready to go. It be ready to be on and popping, okay? It'll be stuck there. Sometimes that's cool and sometimes it's not cool. But in this case, I'm gonna let it sit for like a minute or two, because since it does dry fast. Sometimes I like to use a brush, sometimes I like to use a sponge. This is the concealer brush from It Cosmetics. It's the number 103. I think this is the blurring concealing brush. That's what it's called. Or you can use a sponge. I'm gonna grab my Real Technique sponge. Now, this is the Tarte Stay Spray. This is a setting spray. Help with transfer, waterproof, sweat proof, all that. I do like wetting my sponge. However, if you are not, you don't got the time, you don't got the time. So I'll wet it with this at the tip. The tip.
Why?
Soak in for a little bit, for a second, because when it's wet, it's gonna take off the concealer if you feel like you need a little more.
This defender, a top defender in the history of the NBA, and then they won
right there.
72.
And I do this with my brush too. Okay, Real Technique sponge, really like my go-to. So now that it's kind of like dried a little bit, you're gonna want to blend it in. Your concealer, for it to be brightened, you always want it a few shades. They say like 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. So go and do that. If you grab a concealer and it's way too light, I mean, it happens, especially in this pandemic. You can't test and try everything anymore. You can always go back with your foundation brush or sponge and just go over it, so that way it can bring back the color. And you see how that brightened up my face? That's what you want. I have to put a little bit more concealer on that side because I have dark under eyes. Sometimes I like to put some of the bridge down my nose, and then of course wherever you put concealer at, you see how it's just stuck here. So at least you know when it stays, it stays. If you feel like you use too much, just go over. See how my face looks brighter? Period, po. I'm gonna go under the eye one more time. Get rid of any creasing that may have formed before we put powder on. The Morphe setting powder, again, I had already bought this. I don't support Morphe really, but I already had this. I'm not gonna not use it. I do like Warm Saffron, the Laura Mercier powder. I have it in the shade Translucent Rich. So it's not my skin tone. Now you can use a brush for this. I have this brush. I don't know what it is. It's a Morphe brush. I like to use it to set underneath my eyes. I will take the sponge and tap it in there. I'll tap off any excess on my wrist so that way it does not look kicky. And I go right underneath and pat it in. I do not bake. Baking is not for everybody. If you have dry skin and you're baking, if it works for you, I'm happy for you, Miss Ma'am. But for me, it don't work. I like to use a sponge because it gives me that nice application, especially when it's damp. And I don't know, it just works and it sets it as well. So then after that, sometimes I do lose my color. So I'll go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This is in the shade Dark. And I will take my sponge again. Now I don't put the excess on my wrist. This time I kind of just pat it in so I can set your makeup. If you like brushes, that's good for you. I like brushes too. I have tons of them. I honestly don't need that many, but for some reason the sponge just gives you a skin-like finish. It's nothing like too extra. This can give you a little bit more coverage as well. Sometimes I'll put a little bit on my eyes, which we are going to get into now. So today I'm going to be using the Beauty Bakery's Brownie Bar, and we're going to use that for our eyes. This is a Morphe brush. This is a fluffy blending brush. I'm going to go in with the middle shade here first, and just go in my crease. Remember to tap off any excess and just go in my crease. I have hooded eyes, which is kind of annoying, so sometimes I'll go up higher to my eyebrow. But if you want to be more concentrated with it, do little strokes so you can get some type of color. I don't really care for the color, especially if it's like one of those light beat type of days. But you see how you can see the color a little bit more prominently when I do little strokes. Then flat shader brush, a flat brush, this is also from Morphe. I'll go into this gold shade, not do a lot, not to put too much. This is also a face highlighter shade, but I'm going to use this as like kind of like a sparkly eyeshadow, and I'm just going to pat that in on the lid. You don't want to stroke it. You can stroke it, but I don't like doing that because it tugs on my eye, and I don't need that problem when I get older. So I like to pat it in, and I'm not perfect with it, or I guess I kind of am. I don't think I am, but I like to pat it in more here and then kind of let it fade out over here. And this is a bronze and highlight palette, and I highly 10 out of 10 recommend. Like, this is very multifunctional for me. Again, tap it. Don't pull, don't stroke, don't be too harsh with it. Just tap on the lid. Don't go up too high. Don't do none of that. We don't want none of that. Just tap it in. And I know a lot of people like don't like to do big eyeshadow looks. Like, I like to do big eyeshadow looks sometimes, but sometimes I'm just like, listen, I got places to be. Like, I don't feel like doing all of that. If you feel like you need a little bit more, try to blend it out a little more. Grab that brush, blend it in. That's it. So for bronzer, I'm going to take the Morphe E4 brush. I'm going to tap into this shade here. I love patting, y'all. Just pat it in right around your temples and right. I want to say I like to do it right. Y'all can't see because my dang hair, but right like here. Everyone's face shape is different, so I want to say near wherever near the top of your ear is where you want to put your bronzer. Go up, down. Don't go too far down over here. That's doing too much. I don't know why you're going to your mouth. Why are you going to your mouth? No. You just want to stop kind of in the middle of where your cheek is, okay? You can go under here with angled brushes. Don't go like this. And I learned this from Robert Welsh. He's a professional makeup artist. He has been that for, I think, 12 years. For basically a decade and some change. You go like this, it's going to make it patchy. Like, it's going the opposite way. You see, like, it's angled a certain way. Don't brush up like this. And then I'm cheating, but I'm going to pinch those together and go on the sides of my nose too. Now, serious question. Do y'all like blush? I like blush. Like, blush is my thing. A lot of people are like, blush? I'm like, blush. Like, put color in your face besides just the bronzer, like blush. You can skip this step. You don't even have to do the eyes either. Like, you can skip that step too. This ain't a step I'm skipping. I'm sorry. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. A lot of Anastasia today. Blush Trio by Barry Adore. But Milani has some great blushes. They on point. But today we're using the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. I'm going to use the shade Dessert. Do y'all get dessert and desert mixed up sometimes? Because I still do. Another angled brush. This one's a little bit more dense. I know it seems like a lot. Just tap it off. You don't want to smile. Because then if you put it on the apple of your cheeks, then your blush is like here. Why would you do that? You know, put the blush wherever you want to, but I'm just telling you for reference, when you're not smiling the entire time like you're a Barbie, Miss Ma'am, okay? You just need to put the blush where it needs to go. So I like to go a little bit higher. This is very pigmented blush. Again, you see I'm tapping. I'm not rubbing, stroking, none of that. It's a tap, flick, very light. Wherever my hand is placed on the brush is how light it's gonna be. So, or how hard it's gonna. Do y'all know what I'm saying? So when my hand is over here, it's very light. It's gonna give me light application. If my hand is up here, it's gonna give me more of a denser application. Sometimes I like to go farther back and I'll tap. Give me some color to my face, please. Yeah, I put some blush on my nose sometimes. And then that's it. Then we go into highlight. This is Miss Color Pop. This is in the shade Wisp. This is our Super Shock Cheek Pearlized highlighter. You can use your finger for this. I am not going to do that. I'm going to use a brush. I'm using the Morphe M532 brush. Because if y'all have ever felt the texture of the Super Shock shadows and blushes and highlighters, it's very creamy. So that's why I say you can use your finger. I'm not going to do that. Be careful. Be careful. In fact, yeah, I took some excess off because it's a lot. You're gonna wanna go to the high points. Wherever the light hits is where you wanna go for your highlighter, okay? And I like to go underneath my brow bone too. This is just a light glow, a light. If I wanted to go full on with the highlight, trust me, it can get there. It can get there. And then I'm gonna go on this side lightly. You see where my hand is placed? Lightly. If you want to put eyeliner on, that's cool, but that's fine. I'm not doing it. If you want to put lashes on, girl, go ahead and put your lashes on. Me personally, I already have a hard time putting lashes on. My lashes are really curled, so on top of it already being a hard time putting lashes on, and now I have already curled lashes, it's already hard to put the lashes on. It's too much. So I'm gonna go in with the Variable Mascara by Benefit, and I'm just gonna put mascara on. And I love this mascara because not only does it lengthen my lashes, it gives it a little volume too. Look at the difference. Like, hello. If you ever get mascara on your face, don't try to wipe it off right away. Just let it sit there and haunt you until it's dry and it flakes off. I love this. Look at that mist.
Stop it. Get some help.
I spray a lot for a reason, okay? Listen, baby, I'm putting on a gloss. This gloss is from Essence. I believe it's like no more than $3. This gloss smells good. It gives you that shine. Look at that, period. It gives you that shine. It's not sticky. But this is the completed look. Like, how y'all like it? Let me know down in the comments below, because this is the minimal beat, okay? The minimalistic beat, okay? Simple, quick, fast, easy. The only reason why it took me a while is because I have to talk to y'all. Like, I don't like the voiceovers. I want to have a personal conversation with y'all. Let me know what y'all want to see in the comments down below. And until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.